Good evening. Good evening. Wow, it has been one day for me, but I give God all praises and glory to His name. Um, my name is Vicky, and I don't know if you guys know that my mom passed a couple of days ago. Well, it's been about 4 days now. And at first, I had to let it sink in. And they say, well, Vicky, how you doing? And I would just tell them, I don't know yet. I don't know how I'm doing. I just feel numb. Like, no feeling. I just felt numb. And I'm not sure if that was unusual. But I was told, each person deal with losing a mother different. So I was like, okay, maybe it will pass. Then I heard my cousin say, oh, wait till, the funeral, wait till, the casket go down in the grave, and then you're going to feel something else different. And I'm like, I don't know. So I heard so many things, and anyway, today wasn't a good day for me, but I'm making the very best day that I can out of it. And so I've been praying, keeping my spirits up, doing a little pep talk to myself, and decided to go for a country ride. So I say I'm going to the country. I'm just getting out the house and just going for a ride today. And sometimes that's all we need, just to get out and clear our minds and just to be around people. So that's what I decided to do today. And so far it's working. It's working. So far it's working. Also, I have decided to just do things out of the ordinary, outside the box, trying new things and meet new people, and kind of planning, getting me a schedule together until I actually come to some kind of closure about losing my mom and knowing that I can't never touch her again or speak to her again. And so just to say that, is, I don't know, it's just not good. But it's truth, it's reality. And for anyone, you guys know me, anybody that knows me, I'm a mental health specialist. And now it has hit home to where I need to talk to myself. I need to pep talk to myself. I need the love. I need the support. I need to pull out every tool that I have, and I have pulled out some tools, but I'm going to pull out everything that I can to help me stay in a mental position to go through the transitions that I have to go through as far as burying my mother. And I always been the strong one, I always been the one that taking care of everything, the business and whatever else needed to be done. I always been the one who would decorate, put on the holiday, Christmas holidays, Thanksgiving holidays, everybody would come to my house, and we would have a great time because I was just the one that would always be front and center, had the plans, had everything together, you know. So I'm like, but who's gonna support me? Who's gonna be here for me? And I thought about the enemy will attack you at your weakest moments. Even though I am in a difficult time and situation, I have to stay focused. I have to stay focused and be aware of my surroundings. My mind and my conscience have to be clear on what is going on around me, because I know that the enemy gets busy, especially when you're vulnerable, when you're weak, when you're tired, when you're going through some changes in your life, don't feel too good, been disrupted, you know. So I know I have to stay on my P's and Q's, as they say. My P's and Q's. So I'm going to tell you about people. And I'm pretty sure all you guys know about people. Y'all have lived experience on things like this. But people will catch you at your weakest moment, your weakest hour. And the enemy will use those people that are close to you. And the enemy will bring back, y'all listen to me, the enemy will try to bring back your past relationships. People that you no longer associate with, people that hurt you, and people that had lied on you and meant you no good whatsoever. The enemy will try to bring those people back at your vulnerable moment, when you are going through something, when you're down, when you're weak, you're not at your best moment of thinking, and different things like that. So the enemy will try you. And so I was trying yesterday, you know, and I had just finished talking to the Lord about some things. And I say, Lord, I will wait on you. I will wait on you, Lord. I will trust you. And Lord, you know, I don't want to be in my feelings, because right now I am in a position to where I can go there quickly without thinking, because of the situation that I'm dealing with now. Because sometimes the enemy will make you think that you're lonely and no one cares, and no one wants to be around you. The enemy will make you think that, especially when you are tired, when you're going through some things in your life that will disrupt your life. The enemy will play tricks with your mind. So I was talking to the Lord, and I got this phone call. And when I got this phone call, I said, listen, this is not going to happen. The answer is no. I said, the answer is no. Been there, done that. I'm not going there. So the person said, okay. They hung up. So a second call came in. I don't even think 10 minutes had passed by. So if the enemy can't get you one way, they'll try to get you another way. And I say, no friendship, no nothing, no, we're not going there. Been there, done that. No. So when the enemy can't get you one way, the enemy will keep trying and trying and trying and trying until he gets you some kind of way. So the answer was no, 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 no. And I thought about it. I said, you know, you thought you had me because of what I was talking to the Lord about. The enemy tried to say, I got her now. But it didn't work. It didn't work. And I was so proud of myself because I said no. I'm not going back. And I said no. And I've been there, done that, and it didn't work. And so this morning, the Lord woke me up and I thought about moving forward. And I thought about how some people will fall for the trick of the enemy and go backwards. Now, if it didn't work then, and the relationship split up or broke up or whatever happened to it, what makes you think it's going to work now? Most of the time it won't work. And the enemy knows what to say when you're vulnerable. At that moment, when you're lonely, when you're depressed, when you're going through difficult trials and situations, the enemy knows what to say through that person to get to you. To get to you. And those words that they say will be comfort to you. But you got to realize and recognize who's behind the scene. Who are saying these words? You got to recognize, okay, if it didn't work out the last time, what makes you think it's going to work out this time? That's the trick of the enemy. You have to realize and know who's behind the scene. Who's doing this? All of a sudden, a person just popped back in your life without notice. That is the trick of the enemy. And this person have done you wrong, have drugged you through the dirt and the mud, have scandalized your name, have used you until you was used up, have drained you from everything emotionally, physically, and mentally. Why would you want to go back? Why would you allow the enemy? Why would you give the enemy permission to torture you and do that to you? Don't do it. 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 But I wanted to say this. Most of us fail because we go back. And God don't want us to go backwards. He wants us to go forward. He wants us to succeed. He wants us to have joy. He wants to put a smile on our face. He wants all good things for us. And when you see yourself going backwards, or you allow the enemy to take you back to a place where God has delivered you out of, come on somebody, when God have delivered you out of that place, why would you want to go back? When God have blessed you and raised you back up, why would you want to go back? When you have cried, when you have defeated the enemy, when you have faced your triumphs and your struggles and your trials, and you made it out by the grace of God, you made it out by a hair limb, and everybody that you called had some kind of excuse that they couldn't help you, they couldn't support you, they couldn't have time for you. Why would you want to go back when God is saying go forward? When God is trying to take you forward? When God is trying to bless you for the future? Why would you go back into the wilderness? Why would you go back into that storm, into that dry place? You know, it doesn't make any sense, but if you think about it, it's nothing but the enemy that is behind the scenes. And I said to God, I don't want to go back. If I'm a struggle alone. Because it was a song out back in the 80s, I can do bad all by myself. That's one thing, you don't need no help. You don't need no help. If you're doing bad now, why would you go back and do worse with somebody? It don't make no sense. So, as I thought about it and I realized, and I was having conversations about different things, you know, talking to my cousin and talking to my friends and my acquaintance, you know, and I thought about how people will put a label on you, especially when you don't do what they want you to do. Then they will label you, laborize you as Miss So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so. Just because you won't do what they want you to do. You can think for yourself. You can do that. And if they had all the answers in the world, why aren't they doing better than you? If they had answers to everything, why is they not being successful? Or why are they not helping you? You know? But most of the time when people help you, they want to be seen. You never get recognition for the work that you do, because if you're behind the scenes or out front, all the credit's supposed to go to God. But most people, when they help you these days, they want the world to know that they had helped you, what all they done did and how much they have contributed to your situation. Beware of those people. Beware. It's crazy out here. This world is changing right before our eyes, day after day. It's crazy. So, what have kept me together so far is prayer, trusting in God, and just putting my work out there, my paintings, you know. So, I just came on here to say that keep yourself pure. Watch the enemy, because he's trickery. And one more thing I want to put out here. We're all going to cross this bridge one day of death. You know, whether it's us, a loved one, our parents, our friends, our acquaintances. We all have to face this one day. And prepare yourself the best way you know how. Because I hear people, I need some lotion on my hand, forgive me. I hear people say that how can you prepare yourself? You can't, but God can. God can give you peace in the midst of a storm, trial, situation, death, grief, or whatever you face. God can do that, but we can't do it because the humanistic side of us is going to come out. Our emotions going to come out. Our feelings going to come out. And we're going to say things that we regret later on saying. But when we put God in the centerpiece of everything, God will teach us how to control our mouth. He will give us peace and He will comfort us in the midst of the storm. So I just want to share this with somebody. Don't go back. Don't look back. Don't turn into a pillar of salt. Y'all know that's in the word. Don't look back, but go forward. Move forward. Move forward and beware. I had preached on this years ago. Beware of the snakes. And that's the serpent, the devil, the enemy. Beware, because he would use those who are willing and available to be used, especially when you're vulnerable and going through hardship, and they think that your back is up against the wall, that you need them, but be aware, trust in God with all your heart and might and soul. Trust in Him. It may not look like you're coming out, but you already out. But this is just a test that we have to go through, a trial that we have to face, a storm that we have to go and weather the storm. But we are already out. And that way we can be a living testimony to those who may be experience the same thing or something similar that we're going through. And we can be that prime example to them. Because the word of God say He have no respect of a person. If He did it for me, He'll definitely do it for you. But you got to trust Him. You got to have a relationship with Him. You have to believe His word. You have to believe it, that you coming out. You got to believe that you're going to soar above your storms, above your trials, above your situation. You got to believe that. Don't look at what's going on in your life, but look at, Lord, I trust you. I believe in your word. And if you talk to Jesus, He'll talk back to you. I heard someone say that He's not doing miracles anymore. He's not performing miracles anymore. But each and every day we are seeing a miracle. Every time that your eyes pop open, that's a miracle right there all by itself. Because God didn't have to touch you and blow breath into you. You didn't have to see this day, but He granted for you to see this day. Now, since you are in the now and He have granted you to see this day, then what you going to do? Are you going to sow some good seeds? Are you not going to do anything? Or are you just going to sit back and praise off of somebody else? Misery. So I just wanted to step on here real quick. Make sure that you subscribe and like my YouTube page and share, because you never know who's going through something that needs a little push, that can be encouraged and say, you know what? I can get up. I can see another day. I can make it. Give them that push. Give them that desire to keep on keeping on. All right, this is Vicky, so I will definitely see y'all later, and y'all have a blessed night.